$8.8 trillion is currently sitting on the sidelines, and there's one man who will decide when it will be put into play. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. Joe Warbeck coming at you. And with the recent rate increases in CDs and money market accounts, we have an unprecedented amount of $8.8 trillion sitting in certificates of deposits and money market accounts, just waiting for things to change. And the reason it's sitting there is because they're getting a yield of between 4 to 6% with zero risk. These are federally insured in the certificate of deposits and fairly safe money market accounts paying almost 2 to 2.5 times current inflation rates with no risk at all. And this money will stay on the sidelines until Jerome Powell, our federal chairman, begins lowering interest rates. Let's put this $8.8 trillion into perspective. Remember my past video when I told you it would take you 32,000 years worth of counting seconds to get to 1 trillion. And we're talking about nearly $9 trillion in cash. Currently, the entire market capitalization rate of the US stock market is right around 50 trillion. The entire market cap rate of US residential real estate is right around $52 trillion. So we're talking nearly 20% of the value of the stock market, nearly 20% of the value of residential real estate. And if this money is ever going to leave these high yielding investments, it's going to happen when Jerome Powell decides to eventually lower rates. Now, at his past meeting, he did come out and say that he is done raising rates. Inflation has come down in the upper twos. He still wants it to hit 2%. So he said, I'm no longer raising interest rates, but he did say he is not planning on lowering rates at the next meeting in March. And that sort of upset the stock market. We saw markets pull back about 1.5% across the 3 major indices. But over the next 2 days, those losses were wiped out because people realized Jerome Powell's done raising rates. He's going to start lowering rates. So once he starts lowering rates, believe me when I say this, those fixed rates, those CDs, those money market accounts, they are going to plummet fairly quickly. And that nearly $9 trillion that's sitting on the sidelines will have to go somewhere. Now, some of it will remain, but where are the places it could go? Well, number one, it could go in the stock market. And when we said that the stock market's worth about 50 trillion, we're talking about 20% of the value. That could make a huge difference in market values. Or number two, it could go in the residential real estate, that $52 trillion residential real estate that we're seeing growing by about $1 trillion a year. Another $4 to $5 trillion put into real estate, that would blow up the real estate market. If the money goes into real estate, that is going to make people feel wealthier. And I've said this before, most people's largest asset is their house. And when their house value goes up, they feel wealthier. When they feel wealthier, they spend more money. When they spend more money, the economy grows. Or number three, that money could just go back into the economy. It could be used to expand businesses. It could be used to purchase goods and services. And all of that, in turn, would help grow the stock market. So all 3 things bode well for an incredible 2024, especially once Powell starts lowering rates. My guess is he could still lower rates in March. He just doesn't want to show his hand. He doesn't want to let people know what he's planning on doing because he really wants to see inflation stay low. And it has come down. It's not where he needs it to be. Why in the world he feels it needs to be at 2% is beyond me. In the 2% realm is good enough, but he wants it to be right at 2.0%. The issue, the problem we have is that traditionally the Fed, who controls monetary policy, only lowers interest rates when the economy is stalled. But as we can see in the 3rd and 4th quarter GDP numbers, the economy is not stalling. Unemployment is low. Home values are still rising. According to the Case-Shiller Index, we're still seeing values. And if we take nearly $9 trillion and we throw it in the stock market, we throw it into real estate, we throw it back into the economy, wow, 2024 could be an amazing year. Make sure you check back frequently to see what Powell decides. Make sure you check back to hear what's really going on in the economy. Check out some of my other videos. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, I'll see you next time.